Okay, folks, so this is like the big part of Thanksgiving dinner is the dressing. Some of you call it stuffing, but this is homemade cornbread dressing. So I baked the cornbread, a big silver foil pan because I'm feeding, it's actually 30 people now. And so instead of using a bowl, I have a tote. It's by Sterilite, and it is okay for mixing food, but make sure the brand is Sterilite. So I got the cornbread in, and now before I get to mixing, I'm going to basically dump everything in, and I'm going to mix it with gloves because that's going to take all of the wear and tear from my shoulders trying to stir all this stuff up. So as you recall, I cut up all of the veggies yesterday. So I have celery, bell pepper, 3 different colors of bell pepper, red, yellow, and orange. For that size group, I have 3 each of the bell peppers and 6 onions. And the onions are not in there. And 4 stalks of celery. And here's the onions. So it's just easier to put everything in. Of course, I showed you I used the chopper. And so I have all that in there. So now I'm going to put on my gloves. And this is just the start. These are gloves that you can use for food. So they're not just regular, plastic gloves. Definitely when you're cooking for large groups of people. You're just going to mix all this up with the cornbread, blending everything. Most of you will not probably be cooking for this many people. So you're going to have to cut your portion size down. The more veggies, the better. I actually bought, 3 packs of turkey necks. Because, you never get enough inside the turkey. And they're big necks, so I have a pot full of meat. And I actually took 3 big packs of thighs, and I boiled those so they're tender, boneless thighs. And I'm going to shred that in here as well. It just makes it more meaty. You don't want to have all the veggies and not enough meat. You want to mix this kind of well, getting the lumps out of the cornbread. Can you imagine trying to do this with a spoon? I've done it before. I would have to make 2 separate pans. Also, this will make 4 small pans of, I might get 5 out of this because I got so much meat now. But I'm going to freeze 2 of these for Christmas. If you're going to freeze it, you want to have it cooked. Never freeze dressing uncooked. It won't taste the same. You cook it and then wrap it really tight and, freeze it. It's going to taste the exact same. I do it every year because it saves time. So this is pretty good for now. And I'm going to start adding the meat. Just getting all these lumps out. When I put the meat in here and all of the juice is going to actually get the lumps out. So now we're starting to see that dressing look. I don't use any bags of anything. Only thing I add is a couple cans, maybe 3 cans of cream of chicken soup. This makes it richer. done with this, I have to make a gravy. All right, got to make sure your seasonings is perfect. To me, if you have to add salt, pepper, and all that good stuff, it's not perfect. Some people probably, want to add extra pepper, just because they like things hotter. All right, so I'm going to bring the pot over, and let's take these gloves off, and actually add the meat. Now this meat, I shredded everything last night, and it was pretty hot. I had to heat it up. You want to use all of the broth. Can you see this? Yeah, there you go. That is a lot of meat. So that's 3 packs of turkey necks and thighs. You can use chicken thighs or turkey thighs. It's your choice. To me, it's because it's just tender. And so we're going to start mixing this up. Now, this is hot. So you don't want to just put the hot gloves. I mean, it can handle it, but if it gets too hot for your hand, you may want to use a spoon just to mix it in. Because as you can see, it's smoking. So I'm going to do this to get it started. I can't give exact recipes because I've been doing this so long. This was actually my mom's recipe, and I've just learned how to eyeball it just like, she did. All right. The only reason I'm using a spoon right now is because that meat is so hot. It's getting pretty cooled off now. But you gotta blend all of this meat in really good. All right, so let's start adding some seasonings because I'm gonna be mixing for a while. So I'm gonna add, now you wanna make sure when you're using sage, people, this is very important. You don't wanna over sage your dressing. There's nothing worse than eating dressing and all you taste is sage that you can't really enjoy the veggies in here. Some people saute their vegetables first. That's a personal choice. I don't because it's going to get cooked in the oven anyway. So that's totally up to you. Plus, I'm making so much. It would just be so time consuming to try to do that. And you're going to get the same effect. It's going to still taste really good. All right, so now I'm going to add some salt and pepper. All right. All right, let's get some pepper. I'm having to take gloves on and off because I don't want to get this on my pepper container. All right. So I'm adding salt, and you have to, this, like I said, I know how to eyeball it, but you want to make sure you have enough seasoning in here. For some reason, you have to add a lot of pepper. I use the fine pepper. It's just like the cornbread just eats up that the pepper, so it's always a lot of pepper. I'm just kind of used to that, and it looks like it's a lot that I'm putting in, but when you taste it, you'll see, I need more pepper. All right, and I'm gonna put my sage in, and I just use, it's your personal choice. I'm just using this. Sometimes I use pure sage. Other times it's, I just get the Kroger brand. As long as you can taste it, it's good. For this, I'm going to use probably almost this whole can. This sage is not as strong as pure sage. Again, it's not going to be over sage where that's all you're going to taste. I'm going to stop there. It's probably half a can that I use. And now I'm going to start mixing again. Now you're going to need the broth. Because I cooked this, the meat, and I got a lot of broth from there. If I wanted to add water to this, I could, or you can use, you know, the broth from the box. So I have like half a pot of broth that's in here already. Looking pretty good. So now you're seeing it's getting a little darker. So all those spices in there. Now I'm going to tell the young cooks something. I am extremely big on cooking and being clean. I say this on every video. I'm cleaning my kitchen as I'm cooking. Pet owners, when you're cooking, you gotta be very careful. My dog, I have a little dog, I'm very particular. She does not come in the kitchen at all when I'm cooking. Animals are not on my sink countertop. That's something that you do. Please don't invite me over for dinner. All right? Everything has its place. And animals is not in the kitchen, especially when you're cooking and cooking for other people. When I'm tasting food, if I get a fork, that fork does not go back in the food. I put it in the sink and I get another fork. If I have to do that 10 times, no one tastes food and put it back in the pot. Young cooks, you should remember that. All right, got this mixed up. I'm gonna add some water. Seasoning is gonna keep going into this until it's perfect. All righty, and then I'm gonna add the cream of chicken soup. This is a tough recipe. Everyone makes dressing or stuffing their own way. My mom used to make dressing for an event that we had every year called the Harvest Time Festival. And it was always like 600 people there that she cooked for every year. And, well, I would say for about, I think we did that about 6 years. And so she was asked for that recipe so many times that, you know, can you imagine cooking for that many people? That's how I got this idea of like mixing. She had professional mixing pans and things like that. I'm only making this once a year. I don't eat this because this is such a rich, fattening dish. It's delicious. But, and like I said, I freeze it as well. So I'm going to put 2 cans in this. And even when I make the gravy, I put cream of chicken. Some people use mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. I don't want mushroom in my Thanksgiving dinner. All right. My niece is gone to a football game. She's 13 years old, so she's coming over once the game is over. And she said, Auntie, can you make sure you put me some dressing up? She said, that's my favorite. This little girl, she can eat. I'm gonna put one more can in there. I start buying my ingredients for Thanksgiving at least a couple weeks in advance. Like if you're looking sage, they will run out of sage. Even the cornbread mix, I use that pearl cornbread mix, and I get the one that has the buttermilk. That's a personal choice. So it's totally up to you. But follow the ingredients when you're making the cornbread first, because I use the entire bag, which is 12 cups. And once you follow that, I took a picture of the dressing. The cornbread when it was in the oven. It comes out perfect, just following that ingredient. All right, mix that around just a little bit, and then I'm gonna do the gloves again. I do not put boil eggs in my dressing. People ask me that. No, I do not, because the eggs is in the cornbread. So you don't need that. Some people boil eggs and put in their dressing. My mother does that. That's a personal choice. To me, it doesn't add any flavor or anything. So you just see the white in the dressing. So, all right, hold on here. All right, I'm gonna add some broth. Coming over with my broth. And I hate to tell you guys that, but you're gonna have to put at least a stick of butter in here. And so I have it in here with my broth. All that's gonna blend in. So if you have diabetes, make sure you take your meds tomorrow. Because again, this is a very fattening dish, and that's why most people don't eat it all the time. Again, we have it, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that's it. Gloves have to go back on. This is so much easier, folks, and because if I was doing this with in a regular bowl, it would just be so much work. But again, most people aren't cooking for a crowd this size. I don't know what time you're starting your Thanksgiving dinner. Usually folks start coming over my house around 2 or 3 because of the football game. A lot of my family that's going. I'm not a sports fan, so I don't care less. But they'll be here at 4 o'clock. About time to taste the seasoning again. I mean, to add some seasoning, but I know I gotta taste it first. Make sure it's perfect. Mix that butter in good. See how that's looking? When you get ready to put it in the pan, you're gonna butter your pan. You want it about this consistency. You don't want it watery, because it's gonna fall apart. You want to be able to cut it, and with it this consistency, I'll be able to do that. I will put this recipe on YouTube. This is the second time I recorded it, and I'll show pictures of the steps. I'm making the cornbread, the turkey necks, the thighs, and just shredding them up. That's a whole pot of meat I put in here. It's you want to have some meat in here. I mean, I'm sure they make vegetarian stuffing. I probably wouldn't want it. All right, now we're gonna add some. I'm gonna taste it. I already know I'm gonna have to add some more seasoning because I've just been doing this for so long. I know, but I don't know how much. So, gotta taste it. Just a little bit. Oh my God, that is so good. All right, gotta put a little more sage. Again, black pepper. Washing my hands. You find yourself washing your hands a lot with this dish. So adding more sage. And again, I already know I'm gonna probably use this whole can. And you can't really taste it, I would think, because this is a mild sage. It's not strong at all. Let's see how much I have left. Probably have about this much left. But I'm going to go ahead and use it because I know I'm going to need it. And that's about all the sage I'm gonna put in there. More black pepper. Black pepper, again, cooks away. For some reason, you can't really taste it strong. You think with all of this that I'm sprinkling, you can, but I won't taste it like that. I'm gonna add a tad bit of salt. That's good. I don't need much of that. Let me get a little more broth because that seasoning. Add some more. All right. And let's get to mixing again. We're almost done with this. If you want to have your oven set between 350 and 400, it won't take long to cook, especially if you're using the smaller foil pans. I'll make about, these are the small ones, the half size. I'll get about 6 to 8 pans of dressing. But again, I'm freezing half of it. I'm so glad for freezers, boy. I just think I would be doing this again in, for Christmas if I didn't. All right, so we're mixing all these wonderful seasoning all together. Younger generation, you cannot use Jiffy Mix. You want to use the regular cornbread. Everything has to be made homemade. All right. Looking good. So I see how it's not too loose because it's going to thicken up in the oven. So if you have it too thick, it's not going to be right. If you have it too loose, it's going to be watery. So it needs to have this consistency. I'm mainly making this. Some of my friends has asked for the recipe for my nieces because, you know, I'm 64 years old now, and I've been having dinners for years. They're going to have to learn how to do this. I'm not going to always be here, and they'll be like, I wish I had wrote that recipe down. Well, here it is. Don't get any better than a video. All right, let's taste this bad boy again. I think this is it. I'm going to put it in some foil pan. Let's get another fork or spoon. Give it a taste. Again, spoons don't go back in the food. Good Lord, that's good. All right. Nope. I'm telling you guys, you think with the pepper, you put a ton of pepper in here. Taste it. If you're not going to taste it when you're as you sample it. I'm using this whole container of sage, and it's not over saged at all. Trust me. I usually, because I'm making so much, it may seem like it's a lot, but it's not. You don't want to have it not enough, and then you don't want to have it where it's too much. So you want to make it just right. And you are going, especially if you're making it for the first time, you're going to have to sample this. And if I live close by, and you can always call me. I don't mind tasting it and letting you know. This is meaty dressing. Everything looks good. You want to mix it, blend it good. There's a lot of spices in here. Don't forget the cream of chicken soup when you're making this. And again, I add that when I'm going to make a big pot of gravy. All right. I already know we're done now. Again, this is a lot because I had a ton of veggies. All right, let me rinse these gloves and take them off. And I'm going to put it in the oven. So the time is 1:10. Dinner starts at 4. So that gives me time to get all this in a pan and I'll start getting dressed. I'm going to show you what this looks like on the side. So you see how, let's see, how much is in here? It is a lot. So yeah, I'm going to put it in a pan. I'll take some pictures and show you guys and show you what color it should look like when it's done. All right, we will be back. Happy Thanksgiving.